Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aldina, and I am the creator of Divinely Healing. And today I wanted to talk about opening my heart more to everything around me. And there is a book that I've been reading, and it is a wonderful book. And it is one that one of my subscribers recommended to me on one of my past videos. And it's this one. It's the Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. And this book has really helped me in a lot of ways recently. And there's a very specific part in there that I wanted to talk about. And as you know, and if you don't know, we are energetic beings. Our body is made up of different energy centers, and it kind of really helps us function, and it does help our body function as well. And one of these energy centers, I would say, is the most important energy center of all. Now, they all have an importance, they're all very significant, but this one to me is the one that bridges this physical with the spiritual. And it is one that truly makes or breaks everything. And that is your heart. And I know it might sound kind of cliche or silly, but your heart truly is very, very important in your journey. We are very prone to blocking our hearts to things that happen. And we do that out of fear and out of this pain as well. So when something that you perceive as bad or a negative experience happens to you, you are inclined to block your heart center, and you block all energy from going to that heart center. And the problem with that is that when you are blocking that and you are not letting it just flow through you, it is something that you are holding on to probably for the rest of your life. So anytime that something similar happens, you block your heart again because it's like you're reliving that thing that happened in the past. He does also mention that we do that with positive experiences as well. So let's say someone tells you that they love you and you want to hold on to that feeling, right? So your heart is open, but as soon as they say they love you, right, you feel this wonderful rush of feelings. Your heart feels so elated. And then it's like you kind of block your heart again because you hold on to that feeling instead of letting it flow through you. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this today is because I have struggled for a very long time to keep my heart open. And I could argue that it's been blocked consistently for a very long time. And it was because I didn't want to open it. I was so busy protecting myself and guarding myself that I was blocking everything that was coming in. And I've been so busy protecting myself and protecting my things. So things that made me feel good or things that made me feel bad. It was like I was constantly on guard, trying to secure all of these things, trying to ignore the anger that I had, the sadness that I had, the pain that I had. I was ignoring it. And because I was ignoring it and I was protecting myself so heavily, these things kept coming up for me. Situations that would cause me to be angry or to be sad or to have to face my pain kept coming up because I kept trying to block myself from it. And so I read this book and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that makes so much more sense to me. That's why I've been that way for so long. I could literally feel a tightness in my heart anytime that something I didn't like came up, right? Any kind of situation that had reminded me of something that had happened in the past or reminded me of a feeling that I had in the past, I tightened and I blocked even more so that I wouldn't allow any flow from my heart. I still do this sometimes, right? And I can see it coming up for me as well. And I'm not perfect by any means. I don't think that I am. I don't think that I know everything, that I've solved everything. I know that this is a lifelong journey and that the only thing I can do is learn and keep growing because that's what this is all about. And the older I get, the more I realize just how important it is to let this flow of life and this flow of love within me. And there is absolutely no reason for me to block off things just because I don't like them. It's not how it works. There's going to be so many things that come up for us and that come into our lives that test us. They test our patience. They test our growth. And they kind of put those lessons into place. So all of the mistakes that you've made, they kind of all come up again. Did you learn from your mistakes? Did you end the cycle? Did you have a chance to grow and you see things differently? Or are you still in the same place? Are you still struggling with the same things? And even though I've grown quite a bit, especially since I even started this channel, I still find myself sometimes apologizing for the person that I am and trying to tiptoe around things sometimes because I still have some fear left over. I still have some baggage left over, some pain that needs to be felt and things that need to be worked through. And I'm going to be honest, it's truly so easy to say that you've healed and that you've grown when things are just stable all the time. And I'm not saying to cause instability and put yourself in situations to give your life a little bit of oomph, you know? But I'm saying when things come up for you, right? When life is poking at you and sending you these things that really bother your stuff, right? And your stuff being the pain, the sadness, the anger, the depression, whatever it is for you, but things that bother that and they bring light to that all the time. How are you going to deal with it? How are you going to respond to it? Are you going to block yourself off and ignore it and pretend like it doesn't exist? Or are you going to be aware that these things are going to come up? And are you going to just let it almost sink in and flow through you instead of holding on to it? Things happen and then it's like we don't want to deal with it. And I get that. I 100% understand that. But now that you don't want to deal with it, you're stuck in this loop. And the longer that you hold off from dealing with it, the more power it gets over you. And I am telling you right now, you will be pushed. Life will continue to push you until you are dealing with what is blocked inside of you. You will always be pushed to the edge until you decide that it is enough. And it truly is as simple as when things come up, feel them. Don't try to push them down. Don't try to ignore them. Feel them and let them go. Because a lot of the times it comes back to our fear, our fear of what is going to come up if we let it, our fear of not being perfect and happy all the time. And I see this in so many people. And it is that they're blocked, that they resist, and then they suffer. And I will say, when you decide to do this and you decide to let things just flow through you will find that you become more centered in who you are. And you find that these things that happen outside of you that really aren't quite important just kind of bounce off. And you find yourself dealing with situations in a different way because you'll know that there is no point in having to constantly protect yourself and defend yourself. You'll know that a lot of times the things that are happening to you, the things that are coming into your life, are just trying to help you grow. And they're just trying to help you break out of that shell, out of that box that you've put yourself into. Because in order to let love in order to let all of these wonderful things come into your life, you have to be willing to accept the negative as well. You cannot just accept the positive things and ignore the negative experiences. But it's very interesting because when I look back at the negative experiences that I've had, and I look back at the people that hurt me, I see just how necessary all of these things were in order to get me to the place that I am at right now. And all of these things accumulate to help me get to where I want to be. I prayed for strength, and I was put in situations that made me strong, in situations where I had no choice but to be strong. I prayed for patience, and I was put in situations that forced me to be patient. And I prayed for love, and again was put in situations where I had to open myself in order to feel the love, in order to allow the love in. And I look back and I do wish that some things did turn out differently, that people were different towards me, but there's not a single thing that I would change, because I know that if I had changed just one thing, if one little thing had happened differently than it did, I would not be here right now. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of life. And if I have to get some negative experience in order to open myself up to love and all the wonderful things that life has to offer, I am willing to do that. I am willing to take it all and experience it all, because I I do not want to block myself off from anything anymore. And I do not want to hold myself back from experiencing life fully and feeling all the things that come in and experiencing all the things that come in. All of these feelings that come up are just energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transformed. And so take that pain, take that anger, take that sadness, feel it, let it flow through you, and transform it into something lighter, into something more loving for you and for the whole world. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys again very soon. Peace.